Pre-E3 were even crazy. But these are classic. So obviously these are it's the same games, right? Just basically like brought over.
Yeah, these are all meticulously emulated by the studio M2, who has an extraordinary reputation in the industry for these very detailed, very accurate ports of these titles. They go through the great lengths to make sure they are as accurate representation of the original title as humanly possible.
So how did you guys go about selecting the 42?
There were a lot of different considerations that went into it, but I'm not certain exactly how they made the final cuts. But they, of course, took into account the titles the fans wanted to see most and a bunch of different factors, and we're really happy with how it turned out. I think there's a good combination of iconic titles, like Castlevania Bloodlines, and some that are a bit more rare, some that never even came out, like Tetris or Darius, that are designed specifically for this mini system.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So
yeah, I want to try that out next. I'm really excited about Darius. But this feels like it feels good.
I mean, it's the same.
No lag.
Literally, I feel like it's the same path that we remember, which is amazing. So HDMI out, right to your television.
HDMI out, right to your television, plug and play, powered on. You're ready to go kill some undead.
Nice. Okay.
Or fight some robots, whatever game it is you want to play.
So let's say, okay, I want to switch to something else. So I just hold down start, right?
Yes. So you can just hold down start for a few seconds. It will bring up the menu.
And I like that it doesn't interfere with the normal pause.
Yep.
Like, I think that's really cool.
Yes.
All right, so, okay. Oh, and you can save state also, which is pretty great.
Correct.
Okay, so.
Which, as we were talking about a bit earlier, for the hardcore fans, they might eschew the save state, but for people like me, who've lost a step since they played these when they were a kid, the save state is invaluable.
And you can also use it to practice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I think is it taking me to the game, or did I screw something up?
Going back to Castlevania?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
All right. It's okay, Aaron.
Yeah.
Now, your channel, Aaron, you're doing retro Let's Plays all the time, right?
Yes. Lots of scripted content, Let's Play content, but it's very retro focused.
Uh-huh. And I know you were YouTube's first creator on the rise, which is super cool. So your channel is still emerging on YouTube, and YouTube decided to select you to kind of represent a channel people should check out, right?
Big honor. That was awesome. That helped me a lot. Yeah.
Did it really?
The retro community is kind of niche, you know. But with stuff like this happening now, I think it's great. It's bringing more people into the retro world. And so I think it's awesome.
And so were you someone who played these games back in the day and now are coming back to them again?
Yeah, like I never really stopped. Like my first console was a Super Nintendo, and I kind of just kept going, but I was always like interested in what came before.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I guess that was kind of weird. I used to get weird looks at FuncoLand. They're like, "You want an original?"
FuncoLand.
Why?
Right.
That's what's up.
Do you still have all those
Yeah, I still have all my originals.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
You're good. So yeah, that's right. All the retros.
Yeah, but even though I have the physical stuff, I still appreciate stuff like this because some of these games are so hard to get now. So I think this is a great package, and the selection is awesome.
Yeah.
It's an amazing group of stuff, and it's going to come out this fall, right?
That's correct, yes. September 19th.
Although I'm sure Aaron's trying to angle to get this to take home tonight.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
All right, you and David keep working on that. All right, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. We've got lots of nostalgia for classic consoles and classic games. You can get your hands on a Sega Genesis Mini when it comes out on September 19th this year. Now, if you're one of the 50 million registered users for this
registers
for this co-op multiplayer third-person looter shooter, this next segment is for you. And if the above appeals to you, jump on board because this community continues to grow. I'm talking about, of course, Warframe, and joining me is the Live Ops and Community Director, Rebecca Ford, to share with us some updates on all things Warframe. Great to see you, Rebecca. We missed you last year. We had Megan last year.
Megan was awesome. She paved the way for me, and I'm so excited to see you again.
It's good to see you again. I know. It's. I was joking when I did that intro because a couple of years ago at Game Awards, right, we went to Hideo Kojima, right to Rebecca Ford, and then
my nerves were hot. I was there. It was my first time ever.
What'd you call your registered users?
There is a chance I said registered losers, but I think this is a redemption moment. I didn't know we were going to go this way, but I feel redeemed.
Water under the bridge. Moving on. Well, because the thing is, that was, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago.
It was.
And Warframe just keeps growing. You guys brought it out for Switch last year. I mean, it's everywhere now.
It has grown so much since then. So the joke has not died, which is one thing. So what we have grown with our community and our size, the memes live on. So it's heartwarming.
Well, you guys do such a great job, though, updating the content. It's a beautiful game, and you guys, in many ways, were sort of ahead of the curve with sort of making it so accessible to people to check out, free to play, and it's amazing what you've built on it. So I know you've got TennoCon coming up this summer, right? That's usually where you guys, I remember last year made a ton of news coming out of it.
It was kind of the biggest day in Warframe ever. So a year later, we're going to be heading back to TennoCon 2019, 4 years into the event. And people have been waiting about a year for updates, for information. The anticipation is huge for, what are we going to do this year with Warframe? And,
Yes, so what can you, are you here at E3? Are you going to tease anything, or what can we expect this week?
Well, I think all things considered, if you've been following the game for a long time, we say Space Ninja a lot.
Yes.
So it's about to put the space aspect of that a little more literally.
Oh, wow.
And talk about it in a bit more of a, familiar, but at the same time, delivering the next era for Warframe.
Okay, so that's stuff that you sort of start to tease this week and pay off at TennoCon, and then
It's
later this year get to play more or something?
hopefully that's the plan.
Yeah.
Like our community knows us, and they know that whatever we're planning, whatever we're working on, is rooted in the idea of being different, being exciting, and bringing just a new flavor to this 7-year journey we've been on.
Yeah.
And TennoCon will reveal just that.
Guys, welcome to the
For you guys,
stream.
working on the same game for so many years.
Just
it's,
setting things
it's a
up
new
real
experience.
quick.
Digital Extremes has done games for, I've known James since did Unreal back in probably 96 or 7, I think, which is crazy. But I mean, this game, you guys, it's really a universe now. And what I think when you jump into the game, what people love is just there's so much variety to kind of the experiences now that you give people in the game. So how do you keep it fresh? I mean, is the team just thinking about how do we, you said space. How do we do cool space combat? Or how, it's
I think it's just believing in the choices that we want to make about, do we want to tell a story one year? Do we want to give action one year? Do we want to make an insane boss fight? It's about a whole diversity of experiences, and at the root of it all, there's this story of just mystery, the story of, the Lotus, the story of what the players really do direct a lot of what we're doing, to be honest. If they're there's no endgame content, that's kind of the behind the scenes focus to talk about and figure out. If they want to show off their melee, if they want to work on, being the best space ninja they can be, we kind of correct their course a little bit based on that kind of thing.
What's going on, Downtime Gaming? You said bring
I think
bring
we're
on
doing now, and it's
CV
making sure we do it frequent enough and in an interesting way
CVS
that still has that
HD?
Warframe flavor.
What's that?
We've done 2 open worlds.
The only thing I know about CVS is that
Forward
damn
visit
it's
of
a
content
pharmacy
from
store.
2013 with the Jovian Concord, which just released, and that's kind of going back to our roots, giving you that corridor shooter insanity, but with that very there you go. It's right now that very distinct Warframe flavor.
Yeah, that's what I said. You guys do such a great job with sort of the gameplay and the experience. Even if people haven't played it, just download it. I mean, when you jump right in, the initial content that you guys put in front of people, it feels like you're in an action movie, and it's just it's so action-packed. And then you said there's so much depth there, because the great thing is all this content you keep adding, it's just more for new players to kind of experience when they jump in.
Exactly, the quest line has really expanded, and we have cinematic quests that we started in 2015, and they're still going. So there's a story to be told, and there's an experience to be had cooperatively, solo, however you want to do it, and it's kind of a beautiful thing, I think.
Now, we've got such a passionate community which knows and loves this game and has lots of opinions. So TennoCon coming this summer, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's fans from around the world coming up to Ontario, right?
Canada, your
exactly.
homeland. I was going to wear a Raptors jersey, actually, but I didn't know
say,
if that was going to be allowed or not.
Tomorrow night, right?
I know.
Yes, it's amazing. Yeah, go Canada, but it's
Go
that's
Canada.
no. I said even last year at the Game Awards, there were all these amazing Canadian developers on stage, including you guys. So it's so cool to see.
Oh.
You guys are able to do this
I'm
game.
thinking of freaking the pharmacy.
Do good stuff. So we will see more from Warframe. You guys are gonna be on tomorrow.
man.
You're doing some stuff, I think, at PC Gaming Show,
That's right. Yep.
Capcom versus
Get
SNK.
a hint of kind of what's
I wouldn't
I
mind
think,
seeing that.
fans that have
That
been
would be
waiting a
good.
year
That would be
to
cool.
kinda
I would like to
just
see
exactly
that.
What we've been up to. We'll be pretty thrilled to see. Just setting the course for what's going to come at TennoCon.
And I'm sure TennoCon will be streaming, so everyone will be able to watch.
Yeah, this is the first year we're streaming the whole main stage. So, for the thousands of guests coming, they're going to be able to check everything out. But if you're sitting at home, couldn't make it to London, Ontario, Canada, there will be plenty to watch on stream. So.
All right. Well, Warframe, the story continues. Hopefully, we'll see you
Guys,
again
make
at
sure you
Awards.
if you guys are new, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this stream up. We're gonna be on this for a while.
Oh, well,
for having me.
Thanks for coming by as always. More for Warframe. And again, download it today. Check it out. Play it. It's an amazing game that continues to grow. All right. Well, now that we're in the Warframe of mind, we've got a battle royale with cheese for you. Feast your eyes and ears on perhaps the best collab of all time of Fortnite and the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
The myth. Check this out.
Hey, where you at, man? Okay, look, I see you. Follow me. I'm gonna show you exactly where the chest is, bro. Hey, man, Can I help you?
I just had a little incident outside. You mind if I duck in here and lay low for a bit?
Yeah, sure. Have a seat.
What you doing?
Just some duos.
Duos. Ooh, yeah. I've had duos, trios, in my time, quadruples. But didn't look anything like this cartoony shit.
We're going up against 100 people, and the objective of the game is to be the last one standing.
Okay, see? Now you speaking my language.
Hey, aren't you the guy from the Matrix?
No, motherfucker, I'm not the guy from the fucking Matrix. I'm Shaft.
Who is Shaft?
Let's take a ride. I'll show you who Shaft is.
Is there a crossover with
All right, thanks to Shaft. Stay tuned for many more looks at the adventures of Sam Jackson and TSM Myth throughout the day today. Now, coming up, we've got a longtime fan favorite, Rocket League. We've also got a musical interlude from the band Bastille, and then we'll have the VP of Google, Phil Harrison, here to give us more information on Google Stadia. They had their big announcement on Thursday of pricing and details, and Phil will be here to tell us more, answer all your questions about Stadia. But right now, we're blasting off into space for Lone Echo 2, which picks up right after the original Lone Echo on Oculus VR. And here to walk us through it, we've got the game director, Nathan Philippe, and assistant
I
game
thought he was
director,
going to say Nathan
Rob
Drake.
Duncan, to talk about everything they've revamped to create an even more immersive experience. Guys, great to have you with us.
It's our pleasure.
Lone Echo 2 I got to play a few weeks ago, and I gotta say, it's such an immersive, rich experience to be flying around, floating in space, grabbing onto things, throwing. I remember I had this bug that kept jumping onto me, and I had to keep trying to take him off and throw him across the
So
room.
Nick Fury
It was kind of
taking on Thanos?
May not be familiar with it. The
I don't know,
Lone Echo
maybe.
was here at E3 a couple years ago, won the Best VR Game award from the Game Critics. Tell us about, Ready at Dawn. Awesome studio, had done more traditional games in the past. You did this VR experience for Oculus. What appealed to you about doing Lone Echo? This idea of kind of zero-G VR?
Yeah, actually, we were kind of fascinated about VR as a medium. And Lone Echo, it didn't actually start as the story or kind of the IP itself. It started for kind of a unique concept of movement in virtual reality that kind of gave you full kind of agency and control as a player of exploring this kind of vast open world completely seamlessly and naturally.
Wow. Well, it was a great game, and obviously it makes sense to come out for a sequel. One of the first big VR sequels, I think, that we're even getting to. That's a good sign it was successful enough to merit a sequel. So what did you want to do when you came around to sort of the second one?
Well, really, it was at the heart of Lone Echo is a story about.
I want to try this game out. Looks pretty cool.
Their adventures in this kind of grand world and narrative. And so Lone Echo 2 kind of.
I want to try and see if I can get myself the what do you call that shit?
And lets us kind of
the Oculus Quest.
World, even more compelling narrative, and really build on.
I want to see if I can get that.
Yeah, and I know obviously when I was playing, there's a human interest story, and one of the great things is there's real narrative to it. The story between sort of two players talking to each other, that communication. So tell us a bit about kind of the overall kind of narrative and the characters that we'll see in this game.
Yeah, like. The two central characters in the game are Jack and Olivia. So Jack is the player character, and Jack is this futuristic android that's kind of equipped to operate in harsh conditions of space. And his friend Olivia Rhodes is the commander of this mining facility.
Yeah.
And one of the really interesting things about VR as a medium is just the depth of connection that you can have with a virtual character. And so hearing the response players had in the first game of like a deep emotional bond that they actually formed with Olivia, much as a real person, it was really incredible. And there's so many little nuances that we built into her character that really let it feel like she's kind of present and reacting to you. Maybe that's something you can touch on.
I mean, we found that in VR, it's really important to have the world kind of react to what the player is doing and honor every action the player might want to take. And so to make Olivia,
yo, what's going on, guys?
You had to have her react or acknowledge.
Hola, hola, amigo. What did I miss? You didn't really miss much. They're just talking about some games. They're talking about VR stuff right now, but that's pretty much it. Yo, what's up, Aku? What's up, Nick? Downtime Gaming. What's going on, guys? Guys, make sure you like this stream up, man.
Like the context of her character.
And even the dialogue system where you're sort of going in and kind of choices and whatnot.
And the degree of agency that it affords in like putting the player in this central character in this narrative, in this kind of vast open world, and having this convincing virtual human that feels real to you, it's kind of magical.
Yeah, no, it's a great experience. It's extremely immersive to be literally like rotating around in VR and ducking below things, and it's the demo that I got to play was super immersive, and I got to say VR now, especially with Oculus Quest coming online, I mean, it feels like it's sort of having this renaissance moment with amazing content, but in so many new ways. So it'll be here at E3, and then do we know when it's going to come out yet?
Yeah, first quarter of next year.
You said,
I don't think we have an exact date.
Yeah,
right around then.
Okay.
Nothing but Warframe updates, but
the game that we're going to show people for the
but
first
they
time.
did show
There are those bugs I mentioned. Which,
what do you call that shit?
You don't want to get on your body.
The Sega Genesis Mini.
Demo where you're literally trying
But to be honest,
track them to these other receptacles.
you see all that shit at Walmart.
You're cutting
You see that
bolts
shit
and
all over
whatnot,
Walmart,
but,
Target,
I kept
the
tapping
bougie
demo.
kinds.
Oh my god, you have
Just buy those,
a month before you
basically.
die where you can
That's
actually
what I'll
grab
say.
them off your body and
But
toss
if they
them
have
away.
different
But
games,
it's
then
intense,
go ahead and
intense
buy
experience.
that.
I got to play through this. And
the
you
shit.
literally have. It's just what I love about it is the world is so large, but you can kind of touch and grab anything in Zero G and use your thrusters to kind of move around. And tribute to you guys that you never really get fully disoriented, even though you're literally.
What, the
around,
Sega
grabbing
Genesis?
onto things and
I don't
beating them,
know.
Which is such an incredible experience. And you've added a lot more gameplay to it, which is incredible. So this, this
Yeah,
demo
the
is
flea
incredible
market has
to create.
them. That's
It's
what I'm
really
saying.
quite
Like,
quite the experience.
you don't really need those.
So you're big believers in VR, obviously, right?
The Mini has 40 games.
Awesome. All right, well, Lone Echo 2 from Oculus and Ready at Dawn. Thanks, guys, for giving us a sneak preview of what we can expect at E3 from you guys. We look forward to seeing more of it on the show floor. And, now all my childhood dreams.
Like in the movie Ryan Reynolds' life.
All right, well, let's see what's happening on social media right now.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream, guys.
Jeff, did you just
We're just gonna be chilling, having fun.
Off of you right before you died?
Yes.
Oh man,
checking what's going on with this.
That would be really great. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Jorge is watching our stream.
She's
and
pretty.
Look what he said. My childhood in one, guys. The second mini is looking beautiful, and they gave us a little sneak peek of all of the games. Anyone play Aladdin? It wasn't on there, but just thought I'd make you rage a tiny bit. We have Cristela Alonso, a celebrity comedian, dropping in a second mini console.
Making fun of the cringe. Hell yeah! Every time. Every E3, you have to make fun of the cringe.
He was talking about some of his favorite games: Echo Dolphin, Earthworm Jim, and Sonic. Classics. Then we have,
They act like this is not at Walmart.
this is so cool. Joanna's coming as an interpreter, so this is a really unique experience. And she's super excited for Alex Kidd Enchanted Castle. That is a thrill.
Alex Kidd, that shit was so stupid.
And then we have, look at this. Iconic games. This is how you sell a mini.
No, show us the real tweets. Show us the real tweets, okay? Don't be giving us bullshit tweets that you picked out. Show us the real tweets. Oh, I know there's a tweet in there that says, "Nigga, I could buy this shit at Walmart right now."
I'm excited to keep having this conversation. So yeah, that brings back so many amazing memories. Thanks everyone for the
Dude,
social media shout out.
wait, Dead Space 4, but similar to the first one. Wait, Dead Space 4? This is Dead Space 4?
But games are global, so let us know where in the world you're watching from, and send us a selfie of your viewing setup. And be sure to use the hashtag YouTubeE3. Back to you, Jeff.
My viewing setup? You don't want to see my viewing setup.
We got lots more E3.
You don't want to see
fun
my viewing
coming your
setup.
way. And now joining me all the way from Spain is a YouTuber who is a phenomenon unto himself. Who's nominated for Content Creator of the Year at the Game Awards.
Guys, make sure you like this stream up. We got a couple of people up. We got 6 people watching. Make sure you like this shit up, man.
I knew a little bit about your channel, but when you got nominated last year for the Game Awards, your community, they are just so passionate about you. It was amazing to see them all sort of rally behind you for the Game Awards. So nice to meet you in person. Thanks for coming all the way from Spain to E3. What was that experience like for you last year, being nominated for the Content Creator of the Year award?
Well, it was amazing. I wasn't expecting to be nominated, but when I knew, because I've been in the band actually for a couple of years.
Who?
Being nominated is like wow, am I actually there?
Willie?
So I was very proud to be there.
Willie Rex. You don't know Willie
Have
Rex?
you, nominated.
Nah, I don't know that nigga
See you
either.
again at the,
I don't
have you
know.
at the awards this year. You know, your
I'm gonna
channel,
search
if
him
you
up
aren't
though.
familiar with
Let me
it,
see who
you know,
the hell
you
this
do it in
good
Spain,
this guy
Spanish, and
is.
It's got such an amazing audience, and I said passion behind it of your fans. E3, do you normally come to E3?
Yeah, this is the 8th time. The
Wow.
8th year in a row I come here for the
That's
3.
amazing.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, you know, we obviously see you doing lots of, you know, amazing streams and whatnot.
I don't know this guy.
Why do you come to E3? What gets you excited about it?
I don't know this dude,
Every year I
right?
come here to like play.
But this motherfucker had
So
14
it's
million
like,
people
we
subscribed to
support,
him.
Like our audience and
14 mil.
everyone how it was living, like the experience in first person. So I think just for the past years there is a lot of people coming from Spain, a lot of YouTubers.
Yeah.
14 million.
For the live new games.
I'm not
Tell
one of
me
those
about
people.
Your career and the evolution of it 8 years ago when you were coming to E3, I'm sure it's very different than it is today. I mean, building your channel, how did you build it? Was it just you sort of just playing games and content and you just found an audience?
Yeah, for me it was like I was watching some other YouTubers from here, from the US,
Yeah.
and I was like very frustrated because
Jesus
I wanted to watch
Christ.
like, videos every day, and they took them for a week. To a
I
week.
think so, yeah. I'm gonna have to
Like,
say
if I
that from his country,
I'm going to
mostly.
make videos every day, so that's
Yeah.
why I keep making videos.
Damn.
I just that you've been making
14
daily videos
mil.
for how long now?
Almost 10 years.
10 years. Just think about this for a second, guys. 10 years, he's been making a video every day,
Yeah.
365 days a year.
Is that more than
300 minutes a
Nintendo's?
day.
Hold on.
So you've literally made over
me
like
see.
3,650 videos.
Yeah, and a lot. I have like 6,000 or 8,000 videos
Wow.
in my 2 channels. So.
It's amazing. I mean, that, you know, and are you still? You must be having
Nintendo
fun
has
doing it.
5 million
Yeah,
subscribers.
for me,
This
it's not
nigga
much,
has
because
14
I
million.
wake up, I make
How much
videos,
PewDiePie
I make
has?
2 or 3 videos a day. So for me, when people ask me, it's like, yeah, I'm actually 8, 9, almost 10 years.
And Fortnite has been so huge.
I ain't even freaking look. I don't really
pretty
keep
much all
up
your
with
content
PewDiePie and all this shit,
Yes,
but
I used to play a lot
that
of
guy has
different games like
96
Minecraft.
now.
Now it's like Fortnite on my main channel.
I want to say
And
most
I
of those are
remember
bots.
that when I was first playing,
Yeah.
now we have content like almost every day. It's very easy to make videos, like 2 videos a day.
Yeah.
On Fortnite,
I
they
know,
keep the game
they
fresh.
give you lots of content to
Yeah.
mine to create videos. What else are you excited about? Are there other games at E3 that you want to see?
For
that
the
you're excited
games,
about?
though.
To be honest, I just want to be surprised.
Probably a lot better than he is
For us,
at
not the
games,
Microsoft
but
conference,
skills
so
don't count now.
Yeah, you
They
gonna go to
don't.
Microsoft after
They
that?
don't count at
Still
all.
have Gears 5, other
You gotta
things.
either
Fortnite Pro
shake your
Apps.
ass in
Next
front of the
weekend, you're
camera,
playing. Who are you playing with?
do some dumb
I'm not
shit,
going- I'm not
like
going
Oh, you're not doing
yeah,
this,
eat,
no, I went to take it last year, but
Yeah.
I couldn't make it this year.
eat a whole
You gotta go back and
cigarette
make those
carton.
videos, right? Those
Yeah,
videos
eat
that make
it.
themselves every day. All
Swallow
right,
that
well, it's great
shit.
to have you with us. Thank
I
you so
don't
much
know,
for
some
joining us on the YouTube
dumb shit.
show.
Or put on
for
the
all our
dress
fans of Europe,
in front of everybody,
excited to be
and then
over
you'll
there
get
this
your
summer. We're doing a
stardom.
Big show at Gamescom in Germany, so hopefully see you out there as well.
That's what I think.
Awesome. All right, great to see you, man. Thank you so much. All right, we got so much more YouTube Live at E3 still to go, and we've got the guys from Krillbite Studios
He's like,
here.
"Oh, he's still sitting down.
Matching, I love it. All right,
He's still sitting down. He's like a robot. He's like,
we're going to talk to the creative director as well of the game, Adrian, demo their new game, Mosaic. Now, guys, this is
Oh my
this
God,
is a
that's
really
funny.
Cool game.
That is
Trailer
funny.
on YouTube, and it's got such an incredible look to it.
Yeah.
As you guys do, this is is this just for today, or this is the E3 look?
Oh, we have to match the character, of course.
Okay, all right. So this is the whole E3 look. So hopefully you brought a lot of ties and shirts. All right. So tell us a bit about Mosaic and the style of game it is, guys.
Yeah, so it's of course a very narratively heavy, atmospheric, story-driven game, linear. Where we follow the life of this
Those
average
two bitches went
everyday
through the
commuter
gates.
going back and from to work with no sense of meaning and purpose in his life. And then, of course, in the mundane,
his
mind starts
script
to wander,
pranked.
and he starts daydreaming of,
Like PewDiePie
various
overacting
things, so
when
we follow him on this journey.
playing a horror game, drama queen.
Yeah, so at least we worked really
Horror
hard.
games
to,
back in the day,
game among the sleeps,
those
and
are the
everyone
things
was
that
super
you
tired, so,
you needed to get
kind of
popular
based off of
and
the
views and
burnout
shit like that.
The team felt, I think.
Unfortunately, I didn't have
and it's also,
a
of course, about doing
PC
the opposite of doing what
to
everyone
do
else
any of
was
that
doing,
shit.
so-
Wow.
So here
And
it's
I was
like
kind of
exploring
still
the
fresh
optional,
to
things in
YouTube,
the city,
so
going the opposite way of everyone else.
Going against
yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we want to play.
Now these days, if you're doing a scary game, it's not gonna matter as much.
Of course, like when you see these anonymous crowds just pouring around in the city, it's very easy to feel kind of lonely in that urban space.
So you got your phone there,
you
obviously,
can retreat
stuck in
your
your
phone.
screen.
You can either, I think, my guess to be YouTube
when we get to
famous
the
or
game,
whatever
tell us a bit about sort of the
is
challenge or what is the
you have to go for a
It's
new
it's
battle
really like
royale
a
game because that's
where
the
gameplay shifts from one thing to the next.
unless you're
Now, of
Dashy.
course, you're following the character to work,
Dashy got it
and
good,
what
man.
is
Dashy
so
got
cool
it good.
And very soon he notices this butterfly on the sidewalk. Yeah. And
I want to say like the battle royale games is what you have to go for.
You're flying around as this butterfly.
Oh, cool.
But now these days, there's so many people that are doing battle royales. Like you can't do it right now. I don't know. Maybe you can. It depends on your skill now. During with the like Apex or Fortnite and stuff like that, If there's a new popular battle royale game, you have to get on that shit quick.
Yes. The game is constantly changing a bit.
And in the background, you can see the protagonist is following along, is watching the butterfly, rooting for his survival.
Yeah. So this is just a small section of the game that we're showing.
This game looked like a depression simulator. It does. It really does.
That's amazing. Well, we love sort of, independent games that have sort of a unique look and feel to them. And the fact that you guys are able to kind of build this and build such a different kind of experience out of it.
Yeah.
It's really pretty incredible as we go through it. So what's my end goal in this game? Am I trying to become
exactly?
Breaking free, perhaps. Yeah. So it's I think it's an experience a lot of people can relate to. It's
Thematically, the game has several themes.
Dude, let me tell you this. Those are those two guys who made this game is a bunch of potheads. Okay? They don't know what the fuck they doing. They like, you know what? Let's get a butterfly. Make it fly around real quick. That the guy that you're controlling see that butterfly. And that's the game until the end of the road of the block, actually. And then when you get to the end of the block, you'll see life as it truly is.
We didn't manage to save the butterfly.
Okay, so there is sort of the death state where it's sort of you have the challenge where you're going to overcome those moments and navigate.
It's the global warming.
Find another butterfly, right?
Yeah.
Only real skill requires with fighters now. But then again, low tier guy sucks. See, he has a different platform. If he f's up, he's stuck and locked into this shit. That's why he's milking what he's doing a lot now. So with low tier god, he's just gonna be he's gonna be a straight asshole to his fans. Asshole to everybody because that's what everybody sees him as. That's why he is. That's why people are subscribed to him. That's why people donating to him. People are coming in, seeing his old videos. They see the videos that people make fun of him, and he just keeps doing it. That's his format. That's what he's gonna go with. So that's how he stays like that. In real life, I don't think. I personally, he might not be like that per se.
There you go.
Maybe he does. I don't know.
I know, you're a fan of the 80s.
So people are stupid.
This has been something that you've been thinking about for a while, right?
Yeah, we've been working on this for almost a year now. Ever since our last event, we wanted to figure out the best way to take Rocket League
so
Summer
you
and make it bigger than we've ever done before. Usually we do one or two things, but this time
the
like,
butterfly?
let's do this big 9-week celebration, break it up into all these different parts.
Yeah.
Tons of licenses, Ghostbusters, Knight Rider, add 3 limited time modes, put in free content, paid content, a little bit of everything for everybody. And that was sort of where we started, and a year later, here we are.
Like I say, because you guys have done some cool partnerships with other IP.
So today, the schedule is going to be Microsoft first.
Hopefully you got, or maybe there are more coming next year that you did.
Batista.
So tell us about
Bethesda.
when you
and Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital, I don't know what to expect from them. If y'all saw my video of the scheduling, I do not know what to expect from Devolver Digital.
shows like Stranger
They're
Things.
mainly
shows like
indie game
She-Ra
based,
and Voltron,
kind
all
of.
these, 80s properties
So
or 80s
I'm gonna watch
game-related
it.
properties that were big
So
then
it's
and
gonna be
now
fun.
big again. We wanted to make sure that they made sense across both decades. We're also really cool and iconic. As you can see here, we threw the kitchen sink at this one with partners we worked with before and all new ones.
It's amazing what you guys are able to put together. So as we sort of jump into this, tell us about some of the things, like you mentioned Ghostbusters. Like how does that show up in Radical Summer?
Well, where you have Ecto 1 here, perfect timing. You can drive, you can drive that just like you could most of our licensed cars. But we also wanted to integrate it in a different way, where we include it as a game mode. So right now, it's also going to be part of our very first.
I sure as hell
limited
wouldn't
time game
donate
mode
to
called
someone who
Ghost
calls
Hunt.
me a
That
dumb
starts tomorrow
fuck.
and
Yeah,
goes all the way until
his
July
fans
1st.
are
It's
like,
basically Rocket
yes,
League,
that
but
he
using
called me a
Photon
bitch.
to pull the ball into a trap, hold it for 2
The
seconds,
host
and then
looks like
score.
a villain.
Man, here's
I
another-
get
man, I
that
love you've got
villain.
all these sort of different
Villain
experiences
tree
for folks
vibe.
to, you know,
What
watch people
the?
watch that new content, Fortnite
The
season
dude that's
nine,
talking right
constantly
now?
giving people kind of new experiences in a new way.
Exactly.
In the game, and you still have all the competitive stuff and whatnot going on inside of it. Oh yeah, there's the that's amazing.
That's the Ghost Hunt mode there too. We also have Spike Rush, which if you think of Rocket League as soccer, Spike Rush is essentially rugby. And that'll be in the second phase of the event. That starts July 1st. And then Beach Ball. Can't have a summer celebration without Beach Ball. And that one will kick off as the last leg of our event. And here's all the dates here for you now for easy convenience.
Niggas are stupid with this 80s shit. With the freaking thing.
What can we expect kind of from a musical perspective?
I love the 80s, yo. It's so funny.
Song for the trailer itself.
It's so funny. That freeze shit.
That was a fun song to get hold of. But we're also teaming up with Monster Cat, which we've done for years now. And we're putting together a special collection of
Oh
music.
my gosh, I love that
It'll
shit
be
so
in the game
much.
And also available outside the game later in the year.
Like 80s movies are so funny to me now.
This is
I
the
just
summer.
love
Any
it.
sense of, I mean, Rocket League? Can we expect kind of more of these big events throughout the year now?
I think you can just expect more.
Reminds me of
They're big in
Family
general for Rocket League. Now that we're in the Epic, we have a lot more opportunity in front of us. And this is sort of an experiment for us to see if we go all out, what that can mean and how people react to it.
Yeah.
We're going to take those learnings and then try to do more meaningful, more regular events throughout the rest of Rocket League's life cycle.
They picked
All right,
the
well,
hopefully it's
they
forever.
picked the
I was gonna say you guys are
80s
well on track
a lot.
with,
Yeah.
every season and how
Yeah, they
it's
really do.
and it's like I said, people just love the game. And I think it's the core gameplay is so compelling. It's like now when you can kind of layer in new things to experience, it's like all the more fun. So well, congratulations on all
the
stuff for
Beverly
Rocket
Hill
League,
Cop
and
song.
can't wait to see what happens. And I know you're doing
Heat
a big
is
panel,
on.
at E3 as well.
The heat is on.
Wednesday. Talk about all things Rocket League. So tune in. That'll be streaming live on YouTube to hear more about Radical Summer.
Thanks, Steph.
Jeremy, great to see
If
you.
you
as
guys
always.
haven't heard
All right,
of this
well, that was
dude
a,
called
cool trip
Tyrannicon,
back to the 80s.
that's my
all
man right
about
there.
music and
He's
so
a
much
cool,
fun
really
back
cool
then. I
dude.
love the 80s.
Plays
Now we've got a behind-the-scenes
hard
clip.
games like Dark
Speaking of
Souls
music
and
from the band
Sekiro and stuff
Bastille.
like that.
They're
And he has like
on
a
right
rage
now,
thing, like he
rehearsing
just says,
some
"You
shows,
dumb
and
motherfucker,"
they
or some
absolutely
shit.
love video games,
It's just hilarious
especially Nintendo
to
games.
watch. And
They've
if
got
you
their
ever heard of him,
coming out,
check him
this
out. Cool
Friday,
YouTuber.
June
I really
14th.
like him.
Here's Bastille with a look at their love of video games.
Hello there, we're Bastille.
Hi.
We are rehearsing for our new album Doom Days.
What better place to do it than in London's answer to Rainbow Road?
So on tour, it's become a bit of a thing to play Mario Kart.
When would you not want to be playing Nintendo?
I mean, if anything, playing music gets in the way of playing Nintendo, really.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what's happening. All right, whoever press that, don't press that again.
Guys, don't go over a banana.
What's the next bowling ball? Ping ball ball. Ping pong ball. Football. The 80s. Yes.
That does sound really
More
fun.
cars
We've been lucky
and
enough
balls.
to play some bigger venues recently. Hooked the Switch up to
the projector that we had for that run of shows.
It was probably
Damn,
the
I
most
miss my Mario Kart
overwhelmingly
so much
immersive
now.
experience you can imagine.
And we also had our lighting guy.
Damn, I miss my Mario Kart. I'm gonna get that shit back.
Around the room, it was crazy.
So when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I sold most of my games. Well, pawned. Well, no.
You had
traded in
as
most
the
of my
controller,
games
you had
for
a
that
pair
damn
of
game.
plastic bongo.
Oh my word.
Kind of regretted that a little
I reckon
bit
Kyle's the biggest
because
gamer.
one of those games
Kind of
was
sexually
Mario
attached to his
Kart,
Switch.
and now I want to get it again.
Woody by far is the most competitive.
Yes, I am the best. I mean, most competitive, yes.
So Woody's been practicing on his wife's Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what we mean, guys?
We're about to release our third album. It's called Doom Days. It's our third record.
Yeah,
It's out
you
on
should
the
check out
14th.
my. Oh, dude,
Friday.
I checked your Uncharted
Set over the course of the
thing,
night out, and it's
dude.
all about
Your
trying to
Uncharted
find
stream
escapism
playthrough.
slightly weird
You had me
things
cracking
inside.
up a little bit because you was there was this one time this dude kept on shooting you and then you flipped around or some shit and then you kept on cursing. I was like, oh fuck, he's dying. But it was late and I was getting ready for bed. I was ghosting your shit. But it was funny though. I really liked it. They playing Mario with this. When you close your eyes, it had me feel my eyes, man, dude. This ain't MTV. Get the fuck out. They're fucking up a classic.
Album's out the 14th of June. Doesn't feature any of that. Actually, it was the best thing we've ever done, so I'll take that back.
Why they all sleeping?
Face
was like,
makes them feel
the
just
fuck
at
was
home.
that?
Their third album, Doom Days, is coming out this Friday. Thanks to the band.
Oh shit!
Now I'm sure you've all used Google before, but Google Stadia.
So, what do you guys think about this Google Stadia shit, man?
The vice president and GM of Stadia at Google, Phil Harrison. Phil, I said when I opened this show that it's been 25 years of E3. I've been to everyone, and I remember the first.
He ain't yelling. Oh, the last guy he fired.
The PlayStation party in 1995.
Oh shit!
And you are a long
So
time
there's a
industry
different
veteran,
levels
and
of
it's
people.
So great to have
Let me
you with
break
us.
it down
Also,
for you, okay?
Working on Google Stadia because I know this is
This guy, he's already in. He's locked in. People love him and stuff like that. He don't need a yell. Those new niggas over in EA,
so excited about this project.
they need a yell. If they don't yell, they get fired.
I'm really
Okay.
excited to sort of hear from you, as someone who's worked in this industry for over 20 years like me, why you're so excited about what Stadia represents. And I think the shift that it's going to represent for this industry, or your vision at least. Of
Okay,
where things can go.
so
And I think people
I was
further
talking to a
change
friend of
it,
mine
they're
about the
not
Stadia,
understanding.
and
Thank you for coming and joining us. First
he
of
said
all.
it's a
And
good
second of all, why
idea,
are you so
but I'm
excited
thinking
about
no
this idea of
buffers.
streaming games and products?
Like if your internet shit, you ain't gonna play shit.
It's great to be here. And yes, 25 years ago, that's feels like yesterday. But and actually,
But he says the only thing that boggles us down is the hardware. This is gonna be straight from their servers to your place.
Games from a Google data center to any screen in your life. So your TV, your PC, your laptop, your tablet, or your phone, the very same game experience, the highest quality experience, runs in our data center on an incredibly powerful bit of game-dedicated hardware, and then it just streams over the internet. We've solved the challenges of getting great gameplay into people's homes. Right. And we announced at GDC back in March to the industry, got a phenomenal reaction, and then just last week we announced whole ton of games and an incredible lineup of.
He says like my friend says like what's the most one thing that boggles us down in gaming is the hardware most of the time.
Right? It's like you're gonna have a
So
which you have right there. Which is,
this is the Founders Edition, which we'll talk about in a minute, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But this. This
so
is
yeah,
really key to
it's
Stadia.
basically
Controller, but,
like
you're
a
right.
Google,
No high-end PC
a
required,
Chromecast.
No dedicated console required.
You
So
plug it
we
in and
eliminate
then
the cost of hundreds of dollars, in some cases
yeah,
$1,000s.
no hardware,
Game
just
of
a controller and I think
And
a
then there are
Chromecast
other
too.
benefits.
And that's
There are
pretty
no
much it.
downloads. There's no waiting
I mean,
to play the game.
I might
There's no
try it.
patch. There's no
Just to
install.
just to
None of the
see.
maintenance that gamers have to
Not
do.
100% sure if I really want to, but I'll see what's up
and
about
again,
it.
some people probably hear that and say, that's not going to work. But you guys did do a test last year, right, with Assassin's Creed Project?
Yes. Okay.
Prove to people that this
I've seen Max's reaction to it. Maximilian.
That's right. And we're not
He
the
said the
first
same
people to bring
thing.
streaming
Like
to the industry.
there might be
this is something
input
that's been
lag
filed on a number of occasions.
on
But,
fighting
it
games,
takes a
maybe.
company with the
but we don't know yet. So
infrastructure deployment of Google.
I'm gonna watch Maximilian's gonna get it first.
We did a test, as you said, last year at Project Stream.
Maximilian's gonna get it first, and then I'll see what's gonna happen.
Visually very rich.
If it's a worth getting type of item to get.
Gamers, and really excited to share it with the world, or 14 countries in the world, when we launch in November of this year.
And that's a key thing. It's like this
Oh,
is
yeah.
not a pipe dream coming in 5 years. It's like we said, this November, people will be able.
Hold on, guys.
Something that we call the Stadia Founders Edition.
Yeah.
And this is a really simple way with incredible value to get into Stadia. So it includes this custom controller, which is called Night Blue. We designed this uniquely and exclusively for the Founders Edition. It comes with a Chromecast Ultra 4K streamer. You get 3 months of our Pro.
Let me show you guys something real quick.
You get a
Okay,
Lucky
here.
Pass, so you can gift this to a friend so that you and a friend can
Right
play
here.
together. Inside Stadia Pro, you get the full Destiny 2 experience,
So,
all of the updates, all of the add-on content.
This is
including
what
the
someone said, right?
we announced this week.
Some new game.
And
This is some effed up
something
shit.
which a lot of gamers
Some
are super
new
excited
footage
about is
of
that by
Doom
getting into
Eternal
Founders Edition,
running
you
on
get
Google
to secure
Stadia
your
from today's event.
exclusive online Stadia name first. Important. People are very excited about that.
It is important. So I want to ask you kind of about, you know, the vision of it. I think people get. I think the idea of streaming. I think people want to kind of understand a little bit more about the I put up on Twitter. I was asking for questions. A lot of people are getting a lot of details.
Niggas the hoes!
People are trying to grasp actually it's the idea of streaming games, but you're still buying the game. Some people thought
Niggas the assholes!
pay a subscription price.
Oh my god, that's some
The
funny
model right here is
shit.
something like the Founders Edition. You're gonna buy
Like, you just start playing and then you got that buffer going on.
some amount of money, like whatever it is, to buy.
That just ruins the whole game for me right there. Like, if that shit happens like just
Gamers how they
once,
want to
I am
engage with
done.
our platform. We wanted to give gamers choice, and we wanted to give them control. We wanted to give them choice of how they purchase their games. Not all
that's
games
some
were
funny
available
shit.
on subscription, so they were. It was important that we gave gamers the opportunity to get the widest possible set of games. But remember that the games are not linked to a particular device anymore. That one purchase gives you the value across your TV, your PC, your laptop, your tablet.
Oh, that's
sense. We think that is a
That's just a troll video. Don't take that what I just showed you to heart, okay? Because I know that's not real. It might be. Who the hell knows, right? But we'll see.
In many ways, you're going to keep upgrading this hardware as the systems get
right.
better and better.
Exactly right. We just talked about our Gen 1 hardware infrastructure at GDC, which is more powerful than the current Gen 8 leading systems combined.
Right.
So we think that we can deliver an absolutely incredible gaming experience at a super low price. It's only $129 to get into the Founders.
So will you sort of like every year you'll just like turn on like here's a new upgrade? How will that work?
Yeah, we haven't announced the specific cadence around that, but that's the plan, is that we will continue to upgrade and update our hardware so that the games are always amazing.
Right. So one thing that, you know, some gamers are probably looking at and saying, like, the idea of all these different devices being able to play my game is great, but in many ways I have a legacy of library of games I've purchased, and you're sort of, in many ways, introducing a new ecosystem where I may have to rebuy games I already sort of have, or, you know, buy them for the first time there. Do you understand that concern some gamers have? It's like, hey, you know, I have to start again, basically, right?
Yeah, of course, and you know that's part of the the rich history of the industry is that gamers have the games that they love to play. But if you look at the wide selection of developers and publishers that we're working with, it really represents the absolute greatest in the industry, and they understand where the future of the games industry is moving, and that the opportunity to build a game once and deploy it to all of those screens is very compelling to the developers. Plus, when the data center is your platform, you get access to a whole bunch of new compute and technical capabilities that will make games more fun and will add incredible tools to the game designer's canon. So we're seeing this, in fact, this week with Ubisoft on Ghost Recon. They're using the Stream Connect feature, which allows you to have this picture-in-picture window of to what your friends
We saw that
are
in the
playing.
video you put out on Thursday. It's amazing to see your friends.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And these are features that can only be done with a streaming platform.
Yep.
And so this is something that we will lean into. And yes, over time, it will take developers a little bit of time to unlock all of those features. But that's an exciting future for players because they will get more fun games as a result.
So obviously, the model right now is people will buy games. There will, I assume, be free-to-play games. I mean, Destiny's on the system, which now be free-to-play, but you'll allow other free-to-play games as well in the system?
Yes, and you will also see in due course, relatively short order from now, you'll see publishers starting to think about their own subscriptions as well.
Right, okay.
So we support that on our platform.
Okay.
You'll see some announcements in due course around that.
Okay, so a publisher could have, you would have the...
So is it like a stream or something? It's kind of...
That basically, so like you buy HBO for your cable kind of thing?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I don't think that will be for every publisher, but I think for some of the publishers who have the bigger catalogs and the more significant lineup.
Libraries. Well, that's one thing I was going to ask you about, sort of the legacy content, because some people have said to me, we know we get Destiny with the subscription. You've said there will be other games that will come into that, but people have said to me, is that going to be like a PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold, where it's like you're going to get games like once a month, or what's the cadence of how? I guess you probably can't say specifically, but how often do people expect new content as part of that subscription?
I think it's going to be very familiar to the current subscriptions that the gamers are used to. And obviously we're going to work hard to put as many great games and value into that subscription that we can. And also support free-to-play games as well.
Right. And I know you have next year, there's going to be the base version, which is going to be free, right?
Correct.
So that's idea. It's 1080p streaming.
Yep.
But like in 2020, you'll effectively be able to, buy a controller or use a different controller, right? You support PlayStation, Xbox controllers.
That's
too,
right. Yeah.
And be a part of that, and I'll be able to stream games, so I can buy games and stream them for free as part of the system, right?
That's right. So Stadia Base does not. It comes out in early 2020, and then yes, as you say, you can buy games and be able to play those games everywhere you want.
Well, I think you can't play them on TV, is that right?
No, you can play them.
You can. Okay, so through Chromecast you can still get that.
So you can't play them on
will allow you
TV?
for that,
No,
and then,
no, bitch,
so
you can't.
sort of allow people
Just
2 ways in.
fuck.
The base that be free, or you can upgrade the subscription, which will then you can go to then 4K HDR.
Correct.
60 frames.
That's right.
Yeah. Another thing that a lot of gamers were asking me about on social was they wanted to know about kind of the platform in terms of achievement, the overall kind of platform experience and whatnot around that. What can you share about sort of what the ecosystem is around sort of the community for Stadia?
Yeah, so the heart of any modern gaming platform is going to be multiplayer for sure.
Yeah.
We do not gate multiplayer behind the premium subscription.
Okay.
So that's an important point that I think.
Right, because PSN, Xbox, you're still paying a subscription. You're saying that's
we do
the base.
Gate multiplayer because we see that every game is multiplayer. So we think that's a very good evolution for the industry. Right. We have a bunch of social features in our platform that are really putting multiplayer at the heart of everything that we do. And you will see over time, because our platform is a service, the platform will evolve too.
Okay. You also had said that there was, when you announced last week that there was going to be discounts on games. I think some people have asked me, it's like, what does that mean? Do I get 10% off? Or like, if there's a $60 game that comes out this fall, it's going to be cheaper on Stadia?
Well, we will work with our publishing partners to set the prices that are right for them. But I think as a Stadia Pro subscriber,
cheaper on
we will
Stadia?
do our best to get
Hold
great
on.
And you see this with other gaming platforms.
Hold
where
on.
we will have promotions or discounts that come from time to time.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think that's the thing some gamers just trying to get their head around. It's such a different concept of sort of like how it all sort of works for them. And some people, I think there's a hesitation around this idea.
I remember when
buying a game,
new games, was just $30.
At the end of the day, that people have this fear that it's like, I'm going to buy this.
Then they
shut
changed
it
that shit
down, I'm not gonna have access
to
it, or I want to be able to download it.
Google is
to
incredibly
50.
committed to this platform.
50 was like
I'm personally
$49.99.
But you
Newest
understand why
game,
gamers have
new
that
game,
trepidation?
Of course.
Yeah.
$49.99.
And
back in the day, it used to be 30, like $29.99 for a game.
Experience,
Most games was $29.99. Now, $60.
Those changes will happen over time.
On a rare occasion, $80.
Can't wait for people to get there.
Like I said, that's and the fact that you've already done, I think, the test at least, proves to people that you'd be in a different situation here. I think if you were saying this, you hadn't done that test, right?
Correct.
That's not even including the DLC. It's just an $80
one thing that,
game.
a lot of gamers are wondering about is, the exclusive games and content and what's going to come out there. Jade Raymond is there. You're building sort of, first-party group to build games at Google. Obviously, the launch, there's a couple things that you guys have teased that will be exclusive to Stadia. How committed are you guys to doing big-budget AAA, blockbusters for Stadia?
100% committed.
Okay.
Yeah, we're building studios, plural.
So you're just like running a virtual machine.
Developers, bring games to our platform.
If your internet is trash or have enough RAM, the game's going to be trash. Yeah.
So we have some exciting plans.
Yep.
That's obviously though,
No. So
it takes years to build those.
That's the only thing though, not the RAM.
Some of those until then.
Basically, it's gonna be
exclusive rights to third-party games, or exclusive features, or what can we look
Yeah,
at?
there are. That's the normal blocking and tackling that you see in the industry. There will
Maybe
be
you're
some
right.
features that
Maybe you're right about the RAM.
exclusive because they can only be done on Stadia.
Right.
Things like the Stream Connect and YouTube integrations are going to be unique.
But it's just a streaming service games. Like you could just stream service all these games.
Well, it's one of those things that, as you said, is a big long-term project. For you and for Google to sort of build this, and the fact that it's coming in November, everyone's going to be able to get to try this thing out and sort of see and experience it.
They need to find the best way to compress and decompress the data. Yeah, they do.
And just to see people in 14 countries.
We'll see if it looks like he's passionate about it. So we'll see if this shit works out. I'm hoping it does. I don't really want anything to not work out, So it'd be cool if it does. Then it'd be cool.
Now, today, obviously, Xbox is coming up. I think there's going to be a lot of talk about xCloud and these other streaming platforms. So when people are kind of, to put things in context, I wanted to give you a chance to sort of explain your strategy. How does it differ from, what Microsoft is doing or what other streaming opportunities are? Why do you think this is the path?
Corporations or big companies use virtual machines, don't run different operating systems. Stadia sounds like it. Oh, man.
We don't have the legacy
collector's edition of Phantasy Star 2 on the Genesis as a kid. Parents dropped $90 for it.
Well, it allows us to be
back in the day, 1991.
It allows us to deliver the same game experience to a phone or to.
My mother would not do that for me. Shit, I haven't had my own console, my very own console, until I was, I think, at the age of 14.
Also with the YouTube creators, who I think are going to become a hugely influential, even more so than they are today, in the way that games get discovered and enjoyed by fans. And so I think all of
my
those
brother always had consoles.
Watching games and playing games.
I always sneak and play them.
Do you think,
but
I think people were wondering about subscription, and Xbox has Game Pass and whatnot. Do you think
back in the day, when I was a kid,
you said there may be publisher subscriptions? That
what I had toys. That was like the cheapest shit.
Stores on Stadia?
Video games, I didn't really had much of them. The only reason I played them is because of my brother.
Right. And so whether you
that's pretty much it, because he used to get the games and I'd play them, and that's pretty much it. When I first had my shit, it was at the age of I think at the age of 14, if I'm not mistaken.
So conceivably, you could have.
So yeah, my very own console.
Stadia selling games to people.
Or it could
what was it?
Stadia.
I think it was
So it sends the gamer to play the game on our
What was that shit?
Okay. So we encourage.
Was it a Dreamcast? No,
the publishers and developers to take the game to their audience rather than always.
It was something.
That's an interesting idea, because then there could be a subscription service that would have a collection of a bunch of games, where there's a publisher, a bunch of publishers getting together that could live within your ecosystem.
Yeah, that would be.
I don't remember what console it is, but
all right. Well, it's.
I know it was
to figure out,
something.
and part of this is it's uncharted waters as we all sort of figure this out. But I think I
has to
certainly
be a
agree
new
with
gen.
this idea of streaming content and the accessibility of things with that controller that I can have in my hotel room here playing a game is a pretty compelling proposition that's going to bring games to more people in more places around the world.
That's right.
Which I'm excited about just for our industry.
I had to go to my neighbor's house to play GoldenEye, Smash Bros, Resident Evil, etc. First one I bought was a modded Dreamcast.
You rather than
was
then
was a thing of
the game
beauty.
will give you wherever you are on
I
whatever
never
screen
even
you
seen
are.
a, like a modded
That is the way it
Dreamcast.
should be.
Awesome.
My,
Well,
I
thank you so much
miss
for joining
my
us. We're gonna
blue
give us a little preview of
see-through
all things Stadia here.
Dreamcast
The Founders
controller.
Edition,
I
people
used
can
to
pre-order
hold that
today,
shit so
right?
much
Pre-order right
and
now.
just
Okay.
look at
14
inside of
countries.
it, just be so
Yeah.
proud.
$129.
It looked cool.
All right, and coming out
It just
this
felt
summer. You have
right.
date just November, right?
I don't know. It was just awesome.
Okay. Yes, all right. Well, we're
Power
looking forward to
Stone was
seeing it.
my
Thank you so
shit.
much, Phil, for joining
On
us here at
Dreamcast,
E3.
Power
Kicking
Stone
us
was
off.
my shit.
We look forward to hearing more about all the games and content. You said there's, I think, a lot to roll out over the months ahead.
Then you had Sonic, of course. You know that was a good
All right,
game
thanks
too
so
as
much, Phil
well.
Harrison.
But
Absolute
Power
legend in the
Stone
industry. All right.
1 and 2.
Speaking of Stadia, there was a big announcement inside of that video on Thursday. For all D&D fans, this is a moment you've been waiting for because the CEO of Larian Studios, Sven Vinke, is here with the creative franchise director of D&D to show us the new trailer for Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my God, guys! This was a big surprise inside of the Stadia announcement. Larian, which is
Are you
known
gonna
for
show us
many reasons, such
gameplay of
amazing games,
Boulder Boat?
teaming up with
Boulder
Wizards for
Dash?
D&D. First of all, I just have to ask you guys, how did this come together?
So after Divinity Original Sin 1, I went to Wizards and I asked them, can we have the license for Baldur's Gate 3? And they didn't say yes, but we had a very long conversation about what our vision would be for the game and what we would want to make with it. And then as we were making in Divinity Original Sin 2, I suddenly got a call from Nathan Stewart, who is the head of Dungeons & Dragons, and he said, you need to fly over to Seattle right now. We're going to have dinner. And so during dinner, he gave me a big stack of papers which had Baldur's Gate 3 on top of it. He says, I want to present this to the board, and you have to tell me that you still want to do it. And I said, of course I still want to do it. And then here we are.
I mean, it's the franchise that we've all wanted to see come back. Why did it take so long?
I think it's about finding the right partner.
Okay.
That we really, I think, in Larian have found a studio that shares a lot of our core storytelling approach and for gameplay of really delivering to Dungeons & Dragons fans the open-ended storytelling that they're looking for in a role-playing game.
Yeah, no, it's been a long wait, but it was great to see that sort of first trailer that teased it out. Now, we should talk about Stadia because this game is also coming to PC, but you obviously were announced as part of Stadia. So tell us about that relationship with Phil and the team at Google. How does that all kind of link together?
So we actually discovered that Stadia was a thing last year, here, literally in this building.
Okay.
And
that was well before I found out about it. So you kept the secret safe.
So we reached out to them, and then we started chatting. And it turned out that a bunch of features that were on our roadmap were actually on the roadmap of Stadia also. Because we make big RPGs that you can play for a long time, that you can play together with friends.
Yep.
And one of the problems that you have is where are you, right? Are you behind your PC? Then you can play, but if you're not behind your PC, can you still play the same game? And so with Stadia, if I can send a link to you and you can instantly be in there, that is a very big thing for us. So we hope that we're going to see much more people play the game in multiplayer as a result of that.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about some of the things we saw in the trailer. First of all, there are the Mind Flayers. Tell us a bit about them.
So Mind Flayers, that's what you see the unfortunate Flaming Fist Knight transform into.
Yes.
They are essentially a sort of extra-dimensional threat that's invading...
Wait, did they just show gameplay? I wasn't even looking.
Warrior undergoing the process of
My bad.
ceremorphosis, which is that's how you take some innocent, hapless person and change them into a Mind Flayer.
Yes.
But it's much more than just a physical transformation, which you see in like a lovely, beautiful detail in the trailer, but it's also a spiritual and sort of intellectual transformation. That the Mind Flayer doesn't just take over.
You mean
a person's
Cthulhu?
body, it actually annihilates their soul and replaces it with the soul of a Mind Flayer. So it is a complete sort of existential transformation.
And you're going to, I guess, build sort of a team of heroes to take on these guys?
Well, we're not giving any details on the story yet. Like, this is not the
Nah,
start
let
of
me
it
check
yet.
out Baldur's Gate.
But you're going to have to deal with them.
I think
They're
Baldur's Gate is
obviously
like
very
a
big threat to the city,
tactics game.
but also to you personally.
And so tell us, from a gameplay perspective, you guys are certainly known for a certain style of game. Should we expect the same, but kind of skin for Baldur's Gate, or a different approach, or what should we expect?
So this is Dungeons and Dragons game, first and foremost. So we took the player handbook, we transformed that into a video game. We looked at what worked. We looked at what was missing, because if you play the tabletop game, you have a game master that does a lot of the work. So we had to add systems on top of it to make it work in a video game.
Yeah.
You can expect a game that is that's similar to the previous games. That's very driven by player agency, by you making decisions, and then the world actually reacting to that. So our ideal goal is that if you play and you talk to a friend, you have two different stories, because you made decisions that were different from your friend's decisions, and it goes in different directions.
So same engine, but kind of building in a Baldur's Gate world? Is that how you're looking at it, or D&D world?
No, it's a
I hope if you guys could see this, I hope this Baldur's...
Visual tone, visual identity is very different, which is what we wanted to show in the teaser trailer also. So
I hope this is not...
see the actual gameplay.
Let's talk a bit about sort of...
I hope they change this.
What can you tell us about
I mean, people like old school type shit, but...
It's one of
come
our
on
most
now,
important
like change this up, man.
Dragons obviously has a great legacy in gaming. We're actually releasing in the tabletop side. We have a new campaign we're releasing in September, September 17th. Okay. We're showing
Maybe they're not. I don't know.
The Baldur's Gate 3 story.
I want to try it out. I never tried any of the Baldur's Gate games before. I like tactics style games. So
from the lore, see which characters are still present, and really for us, what I love about Baldur's Gate as a city is it's essentially a wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's a place where money is really all the divide between the upper city.
Don't make it look like
lower
this
city,
no more.
Even the flaming fist knight that you see staggering around the trailer. They're sort of the police force,
Make it look
but
different.
they're paid for by the wealthy of the city to sort of police the poorer citizens. So there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of, I think, what's been exciting is seeing how Larian's been leaning into that. And obviously, you can't talk.
if it looks like those old school graphics, make a phone version of it so I can just buy it and play it on the go.
So I can play it and like learn all these secrets in real time playing the game. So
this is such a huge project, I'm sure, for the team too. Are you guys growing to do this, or is this taking over the studio now?
Yeah, we've grown a lot. Well, it's certainly taken over the studio, that's for sure. When we made
I would be fine for it to be like a 3D strategy game.
It's also our next step.
RTS.
So a lot of the guys on the team,
That would be cool.
And the girls on the team are big fans of Dungeons
Like,
and Dragons.
get the graphics
they've
up
been
on that
playing
shit.
forever. For a lot of them,
I mean, I know the old ones are like more 2D
it was very
what is
easy
it,
to motivate
8-bit?
people to work
Not
on this.
8-bit, 16-bit?
No, well, I can't wait to hear more about it. I know we sort of, all we get is that that trailer, no gameplay yet, right? And any sense of when it's coming out?
The guy in the right look like
People have
Sting.
been waiting for it for a long time, so we're going to take our time for
Like
it.
20 years. It's like,
So it has to be what people want it to be. It has to be good. So as long as it's not good, we were not going to release it.
Yeah, okay.
Again, the fact
See,
that you guys are such
that's what he's
incredible
saying.
developers,
Okay.
That's what I love about, you know.
Surprise
what you've
me.
done overall.
Boulder Gate man who looks like Sting.
D&D,
Surprise
and,
me.
It's just like you guys are partnering with amazing developers, making some really compelling, awesome experiences. And you said just the concept of this is something that people get excited about. So we know when the time is right, hopefully we'll see some gameplay and get a good sense of what you guys are working on. But it's awesome to see that the game is coming. And it'll come to Stadia, and it'll also come, you're just saying, to kind of PC. We haven't said which stores, but it'll basically be available.
So it'll be available pretty much everywhere on PC.
Okay.
And obviously it's coming to Stadia also.
Yeah.
So that's the platforms that were currently announced.
Awesome. All right. Well, those will keep you busy enough, I'm sure, getting it all ready. But it's awesome announcement, a great tease. And thank you guys for coming by to give us a little bit more insight into all things Baldur's Gate 3. All right. Well, YouTube Live at E3 is going to be continuing. As you know, yesterday EA had their press conference, and now, or not a press conference, EA had their streams, we should say, where we saw first news on Apex Legends Season 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I got to play. I went over there yesterday. It was so amazing. Stig's going to be here with us talking about that, but I can't wait to talk more about that. Anyways, I'm now going to turn things over to Danny O'Dwyer and
I don't know if
Vinny
that was a
Ladd,
diss or not,
AKA
but
Team Native Ireland,
feels
along
like it.
with Megan to run down all things that EA talked about yesterday and
Nope.
your take on how it went down. Guys?
Guys, thanks for joining me
saw
out here.
what happened.
Are you enjoying this awesome weather?
Yeah, it's not like so hot. I'm sweating so much.
What? This is great. Take it in. You're going to get a tan. It's going to be amazing.
True. To be fair, we just burn instantly. No, that's the problem. I was like, you put the two Irish people outdoors. It's like, we're going to be red in like 5 minutes, so we better get it.
Well, we got YouTube umbrellas. We'll take care of you guys. Don't worry, you'll be fine. So gaming is global, right? I grew up here in the States, and I was just wondering if there's a difference in the games that you grew up with. You're from Ireland.
Yes.
And you have a unique story. You're from all over.
I'm from literally everywhere.
everywhere. I mean, I lived in Dubai, Thailand, Singapore, and then Northern Ireland for 10 years. And then I've been living in America for the last 4 or 5. So it's funny how like we were kind of even talking beforehand about how we used to play a lot of FIFA. We used to play a lot of like really rich games. For me, I'm a massive rugby fan. So Rugby 08 is basically
ain't Houston,
my pride and
though.
joy. If you're listening, please feel free to make a rugby game. I'll love you forever.
Do you ever play like the Jonah Lomu ones?
Oh, of
or
course.
Brian Lara Cricket on the Mega Drive.
Oh, you're just getting me
Sorry,
excited.
Genesis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Those are the big differences. Some of the console
Ooh,
stuff, at least I'm a little
that's
bit older
not
than
good.
you. So I played
My
like
shit's
Commodore
fucked up.
Amigas and stuff like that, which weren't really that big over here. But one of the big differences, I mean, we're here at E3. Yeah. Watching E3.
I think I need another Elgato soon.
Really? Oh, because of the time zone.
The time difference.
Oh my goodness.
You basically like live on American time, right?
100%. I mean, you're waking up at like 3, 4 p.m. every day just to be on American time, and then you're going to bed at like 5, 6 a.m.
Well, those pre-orders drop too.
Yes.
They sneak those in, so
yeah.
if you sleep through that, you're screwed.
And it's like 100%. And there was always like the late show. If it was Sony, everyone would stay up for it. But sometimes you'd be like, Square Enix is on late, and you're like, oh, do I stay?
Don't do this to me.
Maybe they'll announce Final Fantasy VII remake this year.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
stuff
fingers
like that.
crossed. I hope so. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's a
that's
whole
how
different kind of
good.
experience watching it from back home. But it's fun, and you have camaraderie because like in streams you're usually watching with a bunch of other Irish people, Brits, or Europeans. So there's a kind of a camaraderie there as well. It's cool.
Well, going back to FIFA,
It
you
looks
guys
so
play
good.
a lot of that.
Oh my
The new game
gosh.
comes out every single year.
Yeah.
How do you spice that up and keep it interesting and exciting?
Make up your own games?
Yeah,
Fuck this
make up your own
FIFA
games,
shit,
exactly.
man.
I mean, it's weird. Like the way I play FIFA
fuck?
is I was the
Okay.
keeper. I was the lone keeper out of everyone, because everyone, they picked a winger or a striker or a defender. I was the keeper. I was my pride and joy through and through. But I mean, every single year with just
I was the
graphical
keeper. I was the
upgrades,
keeper of the
with
ball.
player
If
differences,
you
kit
didn't keep
differences,
it,
the way
I
stadiums have
kept
changed. Just
And if
as
you didn't
technology
have it,
grows, the game's
I
gonna
had
grow
it.
with
If
it.
you didn't
So
keep
even though
it,
it's like, yeah, the games are released every single year, but you need to think of it as more of like a from a
Pass.
technological standpoint.
Yeah,
Hard
this year they're
pass.
adding in the Volta, the FIFA Street stuff, which is interesting because they've like rebooted the FIFA Street thing. Like EA Big did it.
Come the
Then there was
fuck
sort of the 2008, there
on,
was the sort of
stupid
cartoony-looking
ass
one.
shit.
I mean, they had indoor soccer in like FIFA 97.
Why is it red?
Oh, what was there?
Yeah,
Oh,
like you
okay.
could bounce it off the walls, and they got rid of it. So I feel like this has been like the thing that FIFA fans have been asking for years. Again, it's just like stick that stuff back in. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Well, I mean, FIFA Street, I don't know about you, but like FIFA Street, to me, was like the party game.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah,
you before a night out or something like that, you go to your friends and you stick on FIFA Street and you just bash around a little bit and then you would head out. Because I feel like, the original game, you sit down and you concentrate.
Yeah.
You
That
you make
shit's
sure you don't
fucked.
mess up your streaks or your reputation. Exactly. FIFA Street, you just mess around.
Yeah,
and you just have fun with it.
It was like playing a fighting game. You didn't really
Yeah.
mind if you lost. It was
Yeah.
just
You just have
a
fun.
bit of
No,
crack.
I love that. What about Madden?
I really love Madden. I have a bunch of mates back home in Ireland who I have a fantasy football team league we've done for like 8 years. And it
Is
was
your
cool. We saw
computer on
Juju
fire?
Smith-Schuster on the stage yesterday.
It might
And
be.
they were showing off a bunch of. I mean, I feel like this year's Madden
What's
feels
up,
a bit more
Skylar?
like a lot of those annualized FIFA upgrades where there's not maybe massive
Shit's
substantive
fucked
changes
up.
coming to the gameplay feature set.
Yeah.
But they're adding in incrementing things here and there. And Madden's had an interesting like past
Yeah,
couple
all I
of
wanna
years
do is
where the
play
fans
my
have been like
game.
happy with some parts of it and not so happy with other parts. So I do think that sort of fine tweaking is kind of what that series needs to do next year.
I agree with that.
Well, dude, awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I had a good
Next time
time.
you're in Ireland, we should just hang out.
Go grab a pint.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
Stay indoors because it'll probably be raining.
Probably. I'm Irish too, so
There's a little bit of
Let-
Irish.
Little
in
bit of
every
everyone and
person.
everyone.
I'll get myself a YouTube umbrella too. But Jeff, back to you. They're doing fun stuff in there.
Yes, they are.
Let's keep talking.
Thanks, guys. Now it is time to do something special, because those of you searching for the first gameplay of Scavengers, well, it's time to do it.
Alright, never mind. I thought they was gonna
Josh,
talk
great to
all
have
day
you with
about
us.
this
We saw
shit,
you at
but
the Game Awards
let's just
last
watch
year with
this.
that Cool tease of all things Scavengers.
For some
and
reason, my
big
shit
winners
don't wanna
been
work.
working hard on the game.
It's cool
But
though.
up until now, we've had to imagine in our minds what this is going to look like. And now you're here at E3 to show people the game, right?
Yeah, this is going to be the first time that we show gameplay from Scavengers. We also have the game playable behind closed doors here at E3, so we're super excited. We're nervous. It's the first time we're showing stuff. So
no, you had a great trailer at the awards, and everyone wanted to see the game. So before we get into this gameplay trailer for the first time, anything you want to tell people to kind of set up the context of this?
yeah, so I mean, Scavengers it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
It's a session-based survival shooter, co-opetition is what we call it. And it sort of blends together elements of PvE and PvP in a new and unique way. So it takes place in a future world where the moon has been shattered and the Earth has been thrust into this winterized state.
Yeah.
And you come down, you're exploring and completing a mission, and you just play session to session, and it's really dynamic and systemic, and you should hopefully get the sense of that.
Trying to get a joke.
Awesome. All right, well, let's take a look.
Shit.
The world premiere gameplay trailer for Scavengers. Check it out.
Scavengers better be good looking.
On your feet, my child.
Whoa.
Today.
Yo, what's going on, FGZ? What's going on? Welcome to the stream, guys. What is this, Tomb Raider?
Prepare yourselves.
Whoa. What is this?
Mind my instructions, and I will bring you home. You want to come home?
Okay. Okay, I bite.
Show me.
I bite. I bite. Yo, guys, those who are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this stream
I
up.
love
Okay.
the epic focus of that. That's a full-blown
Scavengers
so
looks
break down
decent.
people in terms of
I
the
might
gameplay, what we're
I might
seeing
get
here.
it.
This is what you're calling a third-person multiplayer survival co-opetition.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Well,
it's a lot of words. It's a lot of words.
PP
The competition aspect
over in
is
Twitch says, "Hola, Wally,
teams that are
Wally,
all contributing
Wally,
to a
Wally
shared
Rex."
objective. So they're all trying to accomplish the same
Why are you
goal.
talking about Wally
But at the
Rex?
same time, they're being rewarded on an
Oh,
individual
man.
basis. And so there's this kind of fragile alliance at the
It
beginning of
looks
each
juicy.
match that eventually devolves into PvP and competition. And so every time that you're running across other teams, you have this choice to make. Do we go after them? Do we go to try to kill them and take their stuff and kind of move up the leaderboard, or do we
Is it a battle royale?
and try to work together to accomplish our shared goal? The thing that makes that really interesting and dynamic and different with each match that you play is that you're in this living hostile world where you're dealing with environmental aspects.
It's a
like
battle royale.
Weather,
Okay.
storms that are moving around. You're having to deal with cold that comes as a result of that. There's wildlife that's there to maul you. There's these.
I didn't even think it was a
scourge
battle
infected
royale.
monstrosities.
I thought it was something else.
Hostile tribal outlanders. And so all of this sort of intermingles with the PvP aspect and creates this unique blend of the two.
Yeah, I guess
It's PvE
Yeah,
and
last summer I had a
PvP.
little play test with you guys. I love that you said the environment is such a character in this, and it's like the world is alive, which is it's an amazing sort of experience. Even that prototype state, now to see it with all the full-on gameplay polished up is incredible. So this is going to come out, or next year. People can sign up right now if they want to sort of like our first test next year. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually in closed playtest right now,
Okay.
very small group. We're going to be expanding that throughout this year. We're playtesting on PC. PC
Yeah.
is our lead platform. We got an eye to release next year.
Yeah.
But if people want to sign up to playtest on PC, they can go to scavengersgame.com.
Okay.
If they want to follow all of our shenanigans and see updates about the game, they can follow us on Twitter
Yeah.
at play_scavengers.
Okay.
And we still have an eye towards console. We'll be announcing more information around that as we get closer to launch.
Cool. So if people sign up now, they may, like even later this year, may be able to get in and sort of start giving you feedback and kind of build out of that.
That's the idea. I mean,
Wow.
we're really community focused. We want to hear what players have to say about the game. That just informs our dev iteration cycle and everything, and allows us to make a better game. So, yeah, the more people that we can get in playing early, the better.
Awesome. Well, it looks amazing. It was a great trailer.